Three Tales Podcast.
Georgina Bowman, founder and CEO of MyShoots App, finalist for Female Tech Entrepreneur, Midlands Women in Tech Awards 2024, visionary behind an app that connects shoots, clubs, and shooting sports participants, winner of Government Innovation and NatWest Business Awards.
Georgina, thank you for finding time on this Monday late afternoon, and I appreciate you being a guest in our recently launched podcast where we talk with interesting and nice people about things that can influence how the world will look like in 2050 and 2025. We met in Malta, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And it was a massive event dedicated to startups.
Yes.
Obviously, it was not that massive as, Web Summit or VivaTech with millions of, 150,000. I think Web Summit was, EU Summit was around 10,000 or 6,000 people, yeah?
Okay, yeah, I'm sure. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so still was a lot. I think we had a chance to make a conversation, to make some sort of bridge of information exchange. And I decided to learn more because what you're building at MyShoots is, for me personally, a bit controversial.
Yes.
Because we all aim to think how startups can make the world a better, a safer place.
Yeah.
How MyShoots can do this, assuming that you are dealing with a pretty delicate matter, and the more educated people, the better they're ready for this. Can you share maybe how did you end up coming with this idea? Why it drives you in such an interesting industry?
I've come into it as a non-shooter. I'm an ex-sales agent for country clothing, shooting clothing, or hunting clothing, depending on where in Europe you call that terminology. And whilst I was that sales agent, I was witnessing many issues and problems within the industry. Because I've come into it from the commercial sense, I could see that these brands, specifically within this niche, struggle to target their ideal customers. And for myself, going in and out of the gun shops, I was witnessing it being time intensive to organise shooting events. And as you've said, it's controversial. So the people that participate in the sports also quite often the high net worth individuals, not all of them, but they all want to be able to maintain their privacy and their security because of this niche. So a combination of all those issues and problems, so I decided that bricks and mortar in retail is dead. So these brands desperately want a new distribution channel to market. And that's what I'm trying to do.
I think, I get it, because when you pretty much, as you mentioned, high net individuals, or even if you're just a normal person, you want to plan your free time. And if you're a fan of recreational shooting, you want, the best you want is something to be ready when you want it to happen. Book it, make sure you come, you have a parking spot, and you pretty much, do what you like. So that is what MyShoots does. So you help to create a community, a tool, an instrument for such occasions, right?
Yes, correct.
Mm-hmm. How do you currently utilize? So we talk a lot about tech, and on the one hand, anyone can build a mobile app, communities everywhere. But how do you plan, if in any way, to utilize the modern tech in terms of, implementing it as a part of the app? Maybe there may be augmented reality, because that is something that can attract those new generations of wealthy individuals who are willing to dive into the matter but are not yet ready to hold something in their hand. So what is the tech side of the product?
At the moment, we've got the code app as it stands at this minute in time is you get a personal profile in there to be able to join the in shooting events that are public on there. And the shooting organisations can have their own section and profile in the club, in the app, to upload their dates and events. But we were looking at using it. We're starting to build in some AI to make it globally for the languages. But later on, obviously, AR potentially is in my business plan going forward. But that's too early, probably yet. But either to be partnering with those other AR brands that are doing shooting games to be part of that, or for MyShoots to create their own.
And overall, like, AI is disrupting industries, and it's not when but how it will influence the recreational shooting and lots of other things. So have you thought through of what may be the proper usage of this technology, how this may influence the data privacy and security, given that the sensitive, as you mentioned, nature of the information that is shared on the platform?
Yeah, well, that's for my CTO to be more in charge of. But the data that we host at the moment is in the UK. We only take email and name. So we're keeping the data we have very limited. But we stick to all the data regulations and the industry standards. So yeah, AI will probably play a part. But for me, as a non-technical founder, that's down to my CTO to be more in charge of going forward.
Right. A bit of out of the work, but still related to the project question. So we did our own high-level overview. Obviously, we try to dive deep into the understanding, the nature where the person is operating, and we found that you've been named as a finalist for the Female Tech Entrepreneur in Shooting Industry. How do you able to manage, being there everywhere, having one full-time job, another full-time job? Different people have different silver bullets. What's yours?
Okay, I'm very lucky in the fact that I've got a very good husband. That's why I've been married for 25 years. If we didn't have his full-time salary in the background, I wouldn't be able to be doing this. But I've bootstrapped our marriage and our family life all the way through. So I was a full-time mum for 13 years. So we've learned to budget and I put my career at stop to have my family. So my husband supports and knows that I've got this goal an ambition to fulfill. So he supports that journey. I'm very lucky that as a couple, we had our children young. So my 21-year-old oldest son's due to be married in 2 weekends' time. So I haven't got that full-time mother and employment role because I've done that, ticked it off, so I can concentrate on this 100%. But yes, as your questions before this, it does become challenging sometimes in giving my husband the presence, but because he is my main investor financially. He also feels that it's important that we also have our holidays. So at the end of this month, we'll be going away for 10 nights. And yeah, it's important to build that relationship to keep bonding.
I know that one of the things MyShoots is currently in process is calibrating the lead investor. Correct me if I'm wrong, that you're now in a fundraising stage for the next pretty much app evolutionary upgrade. And I'm trying to understand, have you considered in this journey, those that are most desperately needed in such solution, like International Shooting Sports Federation, which is a governing body for the Olympics, or national rifle associations in states, or even the archery association, because pretty much the app that you're building can be applied for any of these like global massive organizations, maybe even the manufacturers of like Beretta, if I'm not mistaken. They've been in the business for like 500 years from Italy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I want to say I would kill as a Beretta founder for this. Obviously, I won't, but I think that's the most demanding things for them to have.
Yeah, talking with lots of them. We are also doing something undercover at the moment, which will be launched in the next few weeks, and that will incorporate every single one of those things you've spoken about just then.
Okay. Means that we did our due diligence in the proper manner, because when we read more about this, there are a lot of countries where like hunting is among the national values, and it includes UK. Obviously, there are some in Africa, in Europe, United States. Look, it's like enormous market, and. Do you have any like roadmap on the geo, how you'd like to scale? What are the destinations you're going?
Yeah, with the undercover work that's going on, there is no reason anymore why I can't go global from day one once that's launched. Everybody will see why that can happen. But if I'm niching down into one, my US trademark completes hopefully tomorrow. So that's been ticking for 18 months. So I'll have my UK trademark and my US trademark in place.
Locked and loaded.
Yep. So having your US trademark, you're meant to make yourself 10 times more investable, supposedly. So with that, I would then niche down, because my pre-seed investments come from Texas, I would niche down into my Texas gun clubs as a niche to concentrate on in America, and I would concentrate on Texas first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the destination. That's one of the most massive states in the United States, and high demand, and a lot of folks doing this. So
if I concentrate just on my US gun clubs alone, it's going to be worth 4.23 billion at the end of 2024. So even having a 2 or 3% of that market alone is enough.
And there is a statement which I kind of support, that at any single point of time, 2% of anyone are buying anything. So it's all about the numbers and discipline and determination in achieving what you want, because when you are in a startup mode, I guess some numbers may disappoint, especially the no's or
No, don't count them.
Yeah, cool. Any what are the main setbacks or obstacles you faced on this route? There was a moment when was there a moment where you thought, okay, screw this, let's do, I don't know, gardening, let's open a farm. I don't want to pursue my dream.
No. I know too much about what I'm trying to crack, so I will keep going. Yeah.
And what maybe because we have also internal channel where we distribute different cases and information. We have lots of active investors there. We have lots of successful entrepreneurs from all across the globe. We have very diverse I would say domain portfolio, and they're all successful women and men. I wonder any advice you may give for someone who is just starting their journey in tech or in entrepreneurship more, how worth it going in the terra incognita versus building your path through the more clear way?
I think it depends on your ambitions. It depends on what the goal is you're trying to do. I know that the questions you've asked me have all been female orientated, but this question you've actually said to me isn't, which is quite nice, because I don't like the female tag. I don't think it matters whether or not you're female or male, but how you go about doing it is all flipping hard.
Oh yeah, I mean that's true. Reality, it's like people think that there are some, differences in perspective, but when it's hard, there,
You have an eye. The only thing I would change maybe is if someone had told me how hard it was going to be, maybe I wouldn't have started. Luckily, you get started and then you realise you're too far in, so you keep going. It's making that person aware what's involved, what boxes have got to be ticked before you can go on to the next stage. I mean, I'm going into my 5th year of working on this now. And I like to try and think of it that each year has been it's a bit like an academic year, because each part I've had to tick new boxes to get to the next stage. And I'm being given the opportunity to pitch in Canary Wharf with Innovate UK. I'm part Innovate UK and trading. Was it the Business, Trade and Culture and Sports Department? I'm one of 12 in England that have been selected to pitch in Canary Wharf on the 15th of October. And to be selected for that, I've had to have ticked X, Y, lots of different boxes to get that far.
Yeah. And I think that now we're living in time very rich for opportunities and disruption and, a way for smaller companies to change the status quo of some, gigamons, because technologies, AI, instruments for digital marketing. So it's all about the proper mixture of everything. And I sincerely wish that it all works out, because I do believe that these have all chances to make the recreational sport more safer, easier and accessible for those who are interested in.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So you say there is a big things gonna happen within the next few weeks. We're gonna watch them, and we will.
Website. The whole website's being revamped, so don't look at my current website.
We already looked, and I can surely say that indeed, evolution should go on all direction: product, website, client service. Because if you have a perfect management system, but people won't be able to log in, or they find it an ugly authentication window, it will be hard for them to make them stay. And do you have your own marketing team, or how?
I'm solo female founder with a very part-time CTO and a new advisor as my board and commercial advisor, who's doing a hell of a lot to move me forward. There's a big part of my team now. I met in Malta, who's English living in Malta. So
I can bet a lot of things and say that I have a strong feeling that if this is pitched via email to the proper number of people, if to put it offering in front of them, we will get many yes for you to choose from, whom you'd like to get on board. It's just if it's strategic investor or institutional investor, or just cash flow to sustain the development, depending on your interests.
Yeah, it's good. Thank you. Yeah.
I think we had a nice conversation. It's not an easy topic. It's not something when you talk about a new fintech model.
No, and I'm pretty mad doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's important to talk about different things because entrepreneurship has no borders and digital marketing is applicable everywhere.
Correct. Yeah.
Thank you for your time, Georgina. We'll send you these materials, and let's keep in touch.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. Nice seeing you again. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Three Tales Podcast